Alrighties, everyone. Hello and hi. I do hope that everyone's having a wonderful day. I believe I have things getting set up the way I'm wanting them. At least I think they are. So, I just gotta finish up the last little bits. So, just trying to think of what I need to do today. Today's stream is going to be a relatively small one where we mostly just kind of basically vibe and not really do a whole lot. So yeah, just gotta get a couple things finished on being buttoned up so that we can be in game. So we're gonna switch over to that game view now, and I hope you guys like today. Give it a second. There we go. Now you guys can actually see everything that I see. So, select location. Can I? Huh. Oh. So if we middle click, it'll automatically place a location down. That's kind of nice. I kind of like that. So, I am trying to figure out what I need to do. So I did go through and, as you guys can see, I at least put up some walls. And I did go through and chop down a whole bunch of trees, getting them down to just pretty much stumps. So there is pretty much not a lot left around here that isn't a growing or developing tree. So we do also have a huge amount of stuff, including some of lead ingots, since there was a mod I added in that just adds a huge amount of different ores into the game. So that is something I kind of have working on right this current moment. I think today we need to work on adding the stairs that are going upstairs, so the stairs that go up from here, which is going to be the opposite of these ones, because they're going to go up. So I think I'm going to be able to remove these walls here and adjust them to go inwards, and probably do something with this area right here, where it's going to look differently. But I haven't figured out what I want to do with that quite yet. But current project is we're going to pull out more of our oak logs. Let's pull out about 500 of them. And we're going to start getting more of our roof set up. So I think I want to do another layer on top of this. So what's our next wood type? We have birch logs. Take 200 of those. Go over to here and drop them both into there to process up for us. How much iron do we have cooked up? Power that on so we can have some iron prepping for us. take all 20 of these. I want to turn them into the slabs. I like how the slabs look, in my opinion. So it's going to give us a nice clean floor, in my opinion. And we're going to be able to have it go across. We are going to have the rooms pseudo-separated. So we are still going to have things blocked off here. But we are going to have the roofs be different. So we'll have to see on how we go about that. At least I'm thinking that I'm not much there. Which, I mean, think some days is not always the most normal way of going about it, but it is how I do it. We just gotta continue doing this where we're getting more of these slabs so that we can then build it out even more. I want to layer out all the slabs here, which once we have something like a construction wand type mod available that seems a bit better than what is showing to be currently available, I will be able to kind of speed up the process of these. I just realized I actually did not need these ones here. Oh, criminy. Because these ones here are actually not needed, since this area is kind of where our stairs are going to be. So it wouldn't actually make sense having any of these blocks here. So if it doesn't make any sense, I shouldn't have it there, you know? I should actually work on prioritizing the other areas that are actually going to need a ceiling on them, since this one doesn't quite count for that. Any of these that have fallen down. Alright, so now I'm going to walk over to here. I did not mean to do that with that. Let's break this one right here. I do like the clambering mode. Clambering definitely saves us a bit of time. But misplacing blocks and having to break the previous ones, that part does not help us. So I gotta try and not do that in the future. Boom. It's that. Now, this is where we're going to be going across like such. I don't want to put a roof on this area. Well, actually, we kind of do need one here too, don't we? So, be just filling it all in. And the roof, there will be a roof on this area up here. These two sections here. We just have to get them made. And it's going to look like this once everything's said and done. Now, this room we might change to something else, like the pseudo kitchen. Because I do want to build what would be a more unique style on a kitchen for it. Why do I have like 80 to 85 notifications just now? Like one of my social media is just like blew up with like hundreds of notifications just now. I was like, why blow up on me? I don't need it blowing up on me. I just kind of want things to be, you know, very calm, very vibe feel, you know? There's all of that. Throw this, and that probably just overkilled the amount of slabs we made. But I'd rather have more slabs than necessary for what we're doing here. Because if we don't have enough slabs, then it doesn't work. If we have too many, then we can always use them as fuel for something. So they're not actually causing any harm for us right now. So I just got to continue placing these down in the fun little just placement that we've been doing. So it actually starting to come out really nice here. It's not completed yet, but once we got all these ones placed down, it'll look nicer. It just takes some time to get them all layered out. Next, that. I gotta work on my block placement. There we go. That part dug up there, and that one dug there. There's that. Now we just gotta place all these down, going across to get these filled in. Now, I don't know exactly what I want to do for the second floor, but I do know that I at least want to have a second floor on our structure. I just don't have a clear idea as to why, or not really why, but as to what I want to have done with it. I just know that it's going to look pretty decent once we have it done. I just gotta clean up our misplaces. And we're going to throw the rest of these half slabs over into our furnace to help cook up the iron that we have. Huh. So it technically makes it a transparent block when we boop it. That's something new to know. Yeah. It looks so much nicer now. This looks goofy, but with having this area lit up the way it is, it just looks so nice having these like that. Alright, so we take this, power that on like such, and there we go. Alright, so... Oh, there's a skeleton over there. Should probably make those stairs that I need. Alright, and pull these. So I want to do... So 1, 2 stairs right there. Trying to think of how I want to do this. Stairs. Railing. Skyline, classic, compact, loft. Sorry about that. I think we're gonna go with the loft ones, just because I think they're gonna look nicer. Let's see how 20 of them looks. Let's break this guy here. Alright, so then we need a few slabs for them to be precise. So, boom and boom. Got slabs. And that's placed like such. Alright, so... No, not there. I should have probably had the torch in our offhand so we can have a... So everyone can have a little bit of... Oh. Yeah, I forgot about that part. There we go. And now... Yeah. Now we can actually go grab our... or go make some more slabs. Let's just turn all these into the slabs. It's not like it's going to hurt anything. Throw these into there and just power that on. Since we still have about 100 slabs, so it's not actually going to be affecting us too much. Alright, and take these oak logs across like this. And layer these guys across like this. Ta-da! Now I just gotta remove these, since I gotta figure a different way of having this be. Because I don't think I want to have that be kind of how I was already having it look. So, just figure out what I'm doing. The fun challenge of, can we have a cohesive thought? Or are we going to be half thought today? Considering more often than not, I tend to be half thoughts instead of full thoughts. I think I like how I have those stairs set up, and we might implement that more in its finality here. So it'd be that there. And then these stairs like that. So instead of it starting at the barrier right here, it goes a little bit before that. That'd probably be a lot nicer to do for us. Though I realize having our clock thing not on, so I thought it was part of the other, some like a little bit of the HUD we have going on that tells us some more about the world. I thought that's what was working, but apparently it was not working on that. So I'm re-enabling that so we can actually, so we can kind of see what we're doing. What was just said on that? Oh. I don't have to worry about anything right now. There we go. We can actually see what time it is in the game, and we can see where it is just past 5 in the morning in the game now. See? Now this just looks better like this. How we have the in-game clock, all that fun shenanigans. So, what I need is the mining hammer. because we're going to be going under here. There's that. And we're going to be doing something like this. I think I can actually go all the way like this. Yeah, all the way to there. So it's going to be more like that. There's this. I just got to use the hammer and break our way around down here for a moment. We need these two objects. It's that. It's that. There's that. Creates a more open area here. And we can do something neat and decorative like that. At least for this section here. Thinking, it says something about the... Huh. Huh. So... we want to have half of it cleared. That. So the half that's going to be wall side doesn't have a banister, whereas the half that is not going to be wall side, decorativeness for that. See, it looks quite decent like that. There's that. Okay. Nope, wrong one. There we go. Kind of like bonk my head right there on that. But I don't think there's another, like, a style we can go for there. Hello! Thank you for the rose. What do you think I should do for right here? Should I keep this being these two logs, or should I remove the logs since we kind of bump our head, but also kind of not? I'm trying to think of how I should do that, but I'm drawing a bit of a blank on it right this current moment. Also, we're gonna need railings. Which... 1, 2... 5, and then 1 and 2. I believe that's more than enough for what we need. Ah. Oh, so it doesn't have a... Have to figure a way around that then, I guess. Why is it not letting us? So that's going to be working like that. There we go. That's more along the lines of how I want to have that be. I think, at least. It looks a little bit more flush to how we were going to be having that. I just wish I could do... Can I actually? I want to test out something. If we can place it. Yeah, we can. And we'll just have to fix the Z-axis issue right here by doing that. See, it gets rid of that issue by having it be semi-flush with that. Now, this one, I don't know if we can really do it right there, can we? Let's place one down on that lower section. Yeah, we can't quite do that, can we? So we're gonna have just a little goofy looking gap right there that I don't think I can actually do anything with because it doesn't exactly have a functionable way of preventing any problems. So we'll just have to have an area where it's like, hey, yeah, we have a spot. I don't think you want me to answer that question with an honest answer, because there's a lot of things someone can do without other people. Kind of wish I could just... Well, no, I can't do that, can I? I guess that's gonna have to stay there like that. And I guess these edges can be on the inner side of it. Well, I mean, I gotta practice. That's the removal of dead air somehow, and a lot of the helping pages I've been on for streaming have all suggested that the streamer get used to filling in the dead air with just talking all the time. So, I mean, I gotta do it somehow. There's that. Keeps this area fenced off. I had seen it. I just was at work when I'd seen it, so I didn't have a, I didn't really have a response. If that makes any kind of sense there, so I apologize. Okay, so we've gotten our stairs. We're gonna need 1, 2... We're gonna need 4 more of those railings. Well, I had seen it. Though, as I said, I was physically at work, so I couldn't actually, you know, make an actual response to it in any real sense, unfortunately. So we're gonna have you and you. That one right there. And that one right there. See? Makes a nice little balcony right here. Then we just use this hammer and we pop them like that, make sure they have a different style. Okay, no worries, no worries. I'll just kind of be here, vibing, figuring out what I need to do to make this, structure from being a weird little one-level flat-topped roof building to something with more style to it. I also need to eventually move several of these stations around, and I do want to upgrade add a mod in that will change how these stations respond to it. Basically make it to where these are extended out even further, to where I can have like all these workbenches probably over here in this room, and they'd be able to pick up from the other side there. I could make a capture crate. Ooh. It's like pick up a chicken. I want to do that. I want to go capture chickens with this thing. But first things first, before we go and do that, we have to go through and we have to finish setting up this structure here. Alright, so we're gonna have the extended rooms be there. This area is gonna be kind of like a patio, an outdoor patio type setup. In here is going to be more of the Great Hall type roof area. So 2, 3. I'm gonna kind of build this out like such. 2, 3, 4. Boom. And then if we start placing these going across like this, we get it, you know, handled out like that. And this gets pillared across, up. That's that. I also got to figure out what kind of roof I want covering this area here. Because I'm thinking about using the modded greenhouse roofs to have it be its own unique style in a way. There's that. we're just gonna make some blocks along here. And continue working our way around the structure now. Now this one right here will also make into what would be kind of like a great hall, but it's where I'm gonna put like some, if we can do it like displays and stuff. I'll have to figure out how to do that, or maybe even having other things put in here, like the potential of the portal or teleporter thingy, since that is a thing in this pack or in this game. You have the teleporters, so maybe have up here be where our teleporters are located. I'll have to think about that one. Or boom. 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 Should probably also finish up right here. Get all this set up so that when people come in and look to see what we're doing, it looks nice and presentable. I'll make a small look like tower style spot here. All right, so we're using these as like a placeholder log or placeholder block, just so I can get an idea of how I want this area to look for this section. I know I want this area to be a tall roof and the back area to be a more subtle roof. That didn't feel too comfortable. I just, really fell and damaged my poor player there. Let's throw 100 logs into here, just so we can get some of those, like, fun styled roof pieces. I want to see, what do these roofs... So those ones, just the regular hardwood roofs, so we can't exactly make those look any special. What about these ones? These ones have some contrast to them, so we could use these possibly for a different style for other areas on the roof if we want. But we gotta kind of let all this get chopped up there. And boom. Over to this side here. Now this is going to be the one that's going to be the low style roof, since it is not as many blocks across as that one over there. So I'm thinking going only to about here, and then making it a mildly sloped roof. This one's an odd number, where that one's an even number. So this one's going to be the... Yeah, it's going to be the flat top low slope. Whereas this area is going to be the peaked high level roof. Pull out 100 of that. Alright, so there's all of these. Up here now. just gotta break these to get it to where we know exactly how much roof we need for this. Thinking actually doing this, that, then these. Yeah. And then we just do the regular flat roof pieces across. Or do I want to do something along the lines of that, and then a flat roof piece? Yeah, we could do that, because that could add some difference into it. And then as far as this one goes, we'll have it overhang this. Huh. That doesn't exactly go the way I'm wanting it to. How did I not take damage just now? That makes no sense. We should have taken some damage by falling there. But apparently we didn't. So... magical moment? Possibly. There's that. Then we're gonna go up to there. And then I want to do you. That puts us at that 4. This puts us at the... like the... I don't know, more than 4 blocks. This puts us at the 6 block. Different spot between. Okay, now we're into there. Yeah, I think that would be nice, because then it has the main point, double slopes, whereas this one seems to be more just a smooth slope right there. So we got this corner going across all the way over to where it kind of meets up with where this slope already is. So they are going to intercept right about here. So I gotta kind of plan out how the different slope tiles would be meeting up for right here. Since we do have the steep angles for here, possibly having to well, not really possibly, they are going to have to overlap the other ones by a bit. I just have to figure out exactly how much I want them to overlap. We're also going to need to definitely make more of them, so we're going to have to throw more of the oak logs through the system. I wonder, can I... Alright, so... Might be, but might, like, up close, a bit of a gap. Yeah, because there isn't really much of a fit for these, is there? Yeah, because right here is going to be the bit of the awkward fit there, which I think we can cover up if we put, like, stairs or something underneath that. So... Yeah, we definitely need more of those steep angled roofs made from the hardwood. So, backward, here we go. I'm gonna make 100 of them. Do I need 100 of them? Maybe. Honestly, maybe. At this point, it might actually be neat. We might actually legitimately need 100 of them to get this going here. So we are going to see how well this goes. And I'm hoping it goes good. But hoping and truth are not always coexistent of each other. Because as you can see, like, there's that spot right there where things don't exactly line up. And I'm not a big fan of it not lining up like that. And I want to fix that. Same with right here. But it will look pretty decent at the end of it. Alright. And... Wrong block, actually. Thinking... Along here we do the regular. Going across like such. Just so we have it. Hopefully filling in some of that area there. And also now get a clear picture how the roofs segments are going to be separated up. Also, if I'm thinking correctly, start laying down some of these lanterns at certain areas. So we can actually have some areas under here, or up here, illuminated by lanterns and not have to worry about it being like super duper dark. So we need at least 4 lanterns for that upstairs area. Alright, go to the furniture bench. And then 4 of those. And then got 4 lanterns for that. we just travel upwards here. There we go. Illuminates up there. And then I'm thinking so we need 4 more lanterns for here. Place 1 torch right here. Since that area is kind of needing to be illuminated. Just that. That cleaned up that bit of a mess there. So yeah, 4 lanterns for this next section. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There's that. Kind of wish there was more light options there, but that is a-okay. Do we have the Macaw's station? We don't have the Macaw's light station built, do we? There's that. This gives us more options on possible lanterns. Also gives us a cheaper flat square light for rooms. So we might use that in other areas. Maybe we might replace these for them. Possibly. I haven't figured out if I want to or not. But we will first evaluate how it looks with some lanterns. We might use the flat square lights up in the attic area. There's that. And there's that. It gives some illumination up to here. Alright. So I did say I was going to place the a set of logs, another set of 100 through here. At least we have a huge amount of them to be able to do that with. Which I'm very, very grateful that we have as much as we do. Because if we didn't, then that would make it so much more of a headache to deal with. Kind of clean out our... Oh, we can't clean out our inventory any more than it already is. Huh. Well, we can at least toss these guys into here. Since they won't fit in the other way. So... let's go grab... I want to see something over here. If we place... block there... block there. Let's see how it looks from the other side real quick. Just so we can get that idea of, does it look okay or does it look janky? Um, kind of bit of both. Kind of. That one is regular. This one is steep. So we want to go at least to this platform here. Because it's kind of like the middle ground where it's at, so we can have a clear idea of that. And we're going to kind of build out here. Getting a vague idea of where it sits over here. I kind of wish that these low flat guys had a way of being a corner to the other ones, but I don't think they do. Okay, so even if we were to place it down, it wouldn't really have a connecting to there, at least from what I'm seeing. That's not exactly something I want to deal with, but it's something we're gonna have to deal with and work around. So I really like how this roof is. Like the angle of it, I like how it is. The connection to here, though, is where we have a bit of a disconnect. Maybe, what if I had it go right into a wall that pops up from right here. So it would have a flat surface it butts up against, and at least for this section we would have an actual wall we have to then kind of just pair it up against. I think I could do that. Because then for like right here, there should be a regular log underneath. We just place the logs up and we build up the wall from right here. There we go. We would build the wall up on this section here to prevent any weirdness along there. And we'll probably find some way of making a roof that goes down on the other side. Alright, so let's go grab some more of the oak. Alright, did I have any dropped logs? I did not. Okay, and then... 4, right? That's so 5 for it. Actually, I think I wanted to do the 4 for that. Because I think the 4 looks a little bit neater and less janky for it, I would say. Even though it doesn't actually look janky to begin with, it's just in my own weird sense of understanding for this. It'll look neater. There we go. Do that. There, and... yeah, I think that'd be good for right there. Four. There we go. And then we can just do some simple roof construction to blend it right here. Kind of. Maybe. We had that there. That'll kind of give the wall its own roof. Yeah, kind of like roof basically. Yeah, it would allow it to be its own kind of way. Right there. And... I think that looks good. Or I shouldn't even have that. And just put logs kind of bumping up against right where we were working right here. Just do like pillars of logs going up all the way to where that is. This one can kind of probably stay as a corner bit. But then this one can't be a corner bit. Maybe not a big one there, but big one staying. How do I want to do this? So I know if we have this there. Okay. I gotta figure out how we're going to do this next part, which is going to be this one. Would a corner bit work there? Possibly. Then we would need to place something else in between them to kind of balance out what we have. So you'd have to use something like one of the hardwood planks. Place like right there to counteract. Not really counteract is the word I'm thinking of here. I think that may not be the exact way I want that one to look. It's actually a lot harder than it looks, to be quite frank with y'all. What we'll do is we'll actually remove all of this, and we'll try again with a different pattern, and see if maybe that is a better way we want to do this. Actually, I should probably just build this similar structure in a creative world. Like a creative flat world. And then figure out how I want to do it from there. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do a creative flat world. So that we can... so we can at least have an idea of what it is. So we want just a flat world. We'll just have it pause time so we can work on how we want to do this. And we will have all the mods we already have active there in the flat world, so we don't have, so we have all the blocks that we are currently already working with still available even in the mod, even in the flat creative world, so we don't have any weirdness kind of going on. So that will help us out. Just gotta make sure to get all this done here so we don't have any mods missing. We can also then pre-plan how we're gonna do this. We're also gonna be able to go through. I don't think I have that mod. I believe I've seen it, but I don't have that one. But also, I've looked at the CurseForge page so many times that there are several ones I've thought about downloading just for giggles, but also haven't, just because it is kind of what I'm just kind of vibing to at this current time. So let's finish getting all these selected. There's also, I think there's a couple on Lover's Lab I was looking at. Well, I've seen some issues with the solo leveling mod where it has had issues breaking people's saves. So that one is kind of a pain at this current moment. There was one RPG mod I'd seen though that was pretty cool. Oh, actually, pause, reword, rewind. It had some interesting functionality, but it did have some hiccups with the fact that it made it to where like, if you started out with crude tools, you had to become proficient with the crude tools before you were even able to utilize a copper tool at all. And you had to kind of go up through those levels of the tools to get yourself to be able to utilize those other bits and pieces. They just had taken a little bit of time. Happy I have some water right next to me. Adding a lot. Decided. That mod actually broke, so unfortunately it is no longer a mod that I can use, so I can't exactly go utilizing that one at this current time. What blocks are we wanting? Alright, we want just a plain... Oh, we want stone bricks. And... where's the just regular stone? There's aqua stone. Ooh, fancy. I want to touch into that a bit, but at the same time, I've been enjoying not doing a whole lot of things like that. All right. Wait. I have to try and think how I want to do this because it is a. Trying to figure out how I had this done. Lungs. So. Let's do that. Five. Right. Yes. I learned that because I wanted a village of houses, didn't want to rebuild them. Fair. Fair. Five. So you have the doorway. The room next to it was... leave. So you had the hallway, and then the room... hallway, room, and then the patio. I believe I'd made it a relative square, if I'm remembering correctly. Not that. One. There. This is also my first time tinkering with the, this creative stuff with Hytale. So if I seem janky using this, please don't worry. It's literally me trying to figure out how to do this. Where is the... had... Just use this. Ta-da! Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4. No, there. 5. There we go. And then I can just kind of eyeball it, but also roughly line it up with the rest of these. And now here's the real challenge: if I actually lined this up correctly. That. Good. So I have it kind of lined up there. I didn't know the adamantite ones actually did this much breakage. I kind of should just use the iron one. So, gotta just sit there. Oh, man. Like, work. There we go. It's like, it was kind of working, but it also is a little bit, looks like it's a little bit lagging when you go to do, like, that multi-place like that. Like, it tries to work, but also starts to have a little bit of a hiccup when doing it. Which is understandable, because it's not exactly an exact science here. But I am trying to make sure it is as accurate as it can be, if that makes... That doesn't make sense. I probably need to work on how I word things. I bastardize how I'm saying things so much that probably doesn't make a lot of sense to a lot of people. It's like, here, I'm gonna speak. Other people watch me speak like, this kid is special, and not the fun kind. And yes, that is a crass joke, but I'm also gonna say it, partly because I am not neural normal, because I know my brain doesn't fire on all pistons. I have a few marbles that have been tossing around for longer than I'd like to admit. So let's get all this kind of finished breaking up. I actually didn't even test how deep this area is. And I'm already taking out some of the ground here. At least we know it's more than, one layer. Yeah, just my luck, it's like only 2 layers deep. Alright, so there's that. And that. Just continue laying this out, and once I got it kind of planned out, we can then start figuring out how we're going to want the roof and how I had it in the other parts. Kind of wish there was some sort of delay like there is when it's in survival, or not really, yeah, technically survival, in the explorer version, because that would allow me to have a little bit less of an instant place, have a little bit of delay so I can think and plan and have my usual human delays on this thing. Pseudo modern with some like rustic-esque twists to it. So it's not exactly modern, but it's not exactly not. Yes. One of the mods that I have that is the better farming allows it to do that. I think it's the better farming or the advanced farming. One of those two basically allows the grass to slowly take over. Even though that is, from what I understand, one of the planned features for the updates. And I want to say I had... yeah, these 2 blocks here set up for a patio. Alright, so we gotta get this finished here. So this is technically where a patio is going to be. This is all one big room right here. Same with this section here. This is also another room. So this is how they got separated. This area here represents the stairwell. And then 4, there we go. So we got the stairwell. Just use these stone bricks to fill in where we have the floor. I know currently in the actual world, the floor is not stone bricks, but I do plan on replacing with stone bricks in the future. I just hadn't done that mainly because I was trying to work on getting the rest of the floorings laid out first. I should probably use the logs. Separate out this. Yeah, I did an entrance right here, so this area stays open. And it's all there. I know I'm probably going to switch out part of this palette later on. But this is literally just like placeholder-esque type things. Kind of. Just got to get all layered out here. Which I think I could just use the fill command. But at the same time, I don't want to do that. Mainly because I don't want to end up hicking up and messing up kind of how I have things done. Boom. The music stopped again. Why did the music stop again? Alright, so this like such. So basically this current platform here kind of represents how our house already technically is looking. Well, aside from the fact that it, instead of using the stone bricks, it just has stone as the flooring right now. But this is the rough blueprint of the flooring of the house. With some, less polished parts on the floor. Like I don't have this area being like this section here being the stairwell yet. But this is the creative one, and this is also me trying to learn how to use this creative parts. While also kind of regretting how fast the player moves. I think isn't there a setting for that? Entity tool. Where is the... There. I don't want to be like zipping around. Maybe not this speed. So we should go up a little bit. There we go. Now it's more akin to how the player is when you're moving around normally. Stripe saving as a prefab when you finish, so you can put it in your survival world. Possibly that might actually be an easier way of doing it than how I've currently have it running, at least for the structure itself. That's these. Two, three. Now I just gotta layer these all out again. Which, doing it in the Explorer version, honestly was actually a lot easier than this, because I could just easily hop the player up onto the pillars and then just work from there, instead of this kind of floaty flying around stuff. But I also want to make sure that the roof that I'm trying to design, or was trying to design, is going to be a functional one without it looking too weird. Because that's honestly what I was running into with the issue, is trying to figure out, you know... Well, I was like, there must be a way, because having it be like that crazy fast flight speed was bugging the snot out of me, and I was like, what the fuck? This is like way faster than I'm wanting to move. I need to find a way to make it a little bit slower. So I was like looking at the menus, and I looked over here at this creative mode quick settings. I was like, ah! Spawn to hit. Huh. I have to like actually read through some of these later on and actually figure out more about what it is. But for instance, the developers have put a lot of effort into the creative menu tools and all that. Well, I mean, technically that makes sense, because they are... If the light can pass through it, it's technically a non... It is tangible, but it's also not. And since the rain in Hytale and Minecraft, it's not exactly registered... Ah, thank you, Rose. Rain in Hytale, I noticed, it is and isn't an entity. Like, it does technically affect things, but at the same time, it doesn't. So if it is a non-tangible or transparent type block, like how the roof blocks are, without having a solid base below them, they are technically registered as non-tangible, since light can pass through them. So that means that the rain, which isn't actually a normal registered entity in the game, it'll also just pass straight through. It all comes down to how they've coded it. Now, is there going to be mods in the future that'll make it a actual tangible object? Kind of. There already is some that make it to where the rain will affect things like crops. One of the mods I actually have on the world is Crops Love Rain, making it to where when it's raining in-game, the crops that you have as when you're playing actually grow more. So that will help out things there to allow the player farms to be probably a bit better, in my opinion. Don't need that. I don't need the adamantite one, nor that. Alright, so we want the hardwood planks. I'm trying to think what else I want to do here. Let me move my microphone so I'm not trying to like talk around the microphone. Alright, what options of slabs did we actually have? Because I actually hadn't actually looked at all these different types of slabs that are available in the game. Mechanic. Why is my character doing this dance? I keep looking at the character and he's like doing this weird little dance while they're standing. It's like, that is the most attention-grabbing little thing I've seen so far. And it bugs the ever-living shit out of me. Because it's like, oh, it's over here. It's dancing! And it's like, why are you dancing? You weird monkey. Well, actually, my character's like an elf because of the ears. But I'm being a pill. I'm being a pain in the ass like I normally am. Okay, so I know... Oh, shit. There we go. I know for the outside of our area, I extended out this. Well, it's just kind of goofy. I was like, my ADHD-ridden ass is like, it's a distraction in my brain. Which is also why I struggle at streaming in general, because I'll get distracted about things. And I'll start one task. And I'll be like, okay, we're doing this. We're starting this. This is our plan. And I'll be so distracted with the task at hand that I will, like, or not really just with the task at hand, but I'll get so distracted with other things that I was doing that I'll forget that, like, oh, I planned X, Y, Z. And it does not help with it at all. And it frustrates me when I do that. Because I'll end the stream some days. And I'll look back and think like, okay, what did I have planned to do? And did I do that? Sadly, 9 times out of 10, I didn't even touch what I was planning on doing. Like, not even close to what I was planning on doing. Most of the time, it would be like, oh, I plan to do this. Proceeded not to do that at all. And it's like, okay. Figuring out, readjusting, reevaluating how we goofed up this time. Kind of thing. Right. I know I did layer these out like that. Ugh. Although when I was doing in the regular world, I was also screwing up that too, so not really that different. I'm just we had layer this out here in this one because we did kind of make it make the beams go across like this. There we go with that. So, we're gonna place all these filling in this area here. Once we got this area filled in, if I can actually place blocks, normally, apparently, but we all know that I've already displayed my extreme lacking in intelligence here. Or not really lacking intelligence, more of just the dexterity that is required to do this. I seem to have a bit of a hiccup with. Hence why I had to, like, lower my, movement speed down from, you know... I can't say that. I cannot say that. I cannot say that. Family platforms. Substance using levels to... Well, technically also substance using levels, just not the ones that accelerate people, the ones that decelerate people's minds. At least I could say it like that. That shouldn't get me in trouble with TikTok or other platforms. Well, I say that now, and just my luck, it will get me in trouble with them. Yeah, totally, just my luck. I'm going to get myself in trouble. Nope, I don't want that there. Alright. Now I place all of these down like such. Alright. Yeah, see? It's having... E-R-I-C-K... How do I want to do this? Oh yeah, that's part of the metallurgy mod that adds in these really cool... Oh, thank you for follow. The metallurgy mod adds these really cool copper blocks, which I like. I do. They just look a little goofy sometimes. Trying to see what type of stone options we have. We'll do some of these. Maybe? Possibly? Do I want to use those? Yeah, I guess we'll use those like that. Because the shale ones, I'd have to go to a cold biome to get the shale. But I'm working with what I have at the starting area. And we had that. Yeah, this one was walled off like such. And everyone? Well, I mean, maybe there's one you haven't had yet that does the opposite. I know back when I was more herbally active, depending on the strand that I would take, most of the time it would turn me into like a vegetable. Like if I go have gummies, I cease to be normal, and I just go, okay, I'm gonna go sleep now. Some of my housemates have thought it's funny because they've seen what happens when I've had those, and they've noticed I'll just go lay down. I don't do anything. I just go lay down pretty much, and that's about it. Okay, and then this is another doorway here. Alright, so boom there. Well, since I can't have the inhalable ones, because ever since I had my my corneal transplant, having things like that cause my eyeballs to just hurt severely, I've had to adjust. I know the lights are somewhere. Ah, here they are. Lanterns. And we had a lantern there. There, there. And I had placed lanterns at these sections here in the hallway. And we had one in this room, like in the middle of it. Out here, we had some torches. Ooh, there's Christmas? Halloween lights? What? Under the decoration, Halloween lights. I'll have to take a look at that. I didn't know there was Halloween lights in this pack. Shit, I would have been using them for a while now. Let's see. What other kind of, ores, soils, structural. Hey, I forgot. The, Violet's banners have, these. So I'm very, very, very happy about these. Well, I realized that, and I was like, I didn't know, because I haven't actually looked through all of the available blocks and their patterns. I should. I legitimately should look through more of what is available. I just haven't in my current understanding of how this game works. Which is kind of a half-ass excuse. But in my current defense, it is something that I am working on adjusting. That actually looks cool, the goblin chest. There's these torches. There they are. Winter lights also look kind of cool. So, there's the crude torch. Ancient torch. Trying to think if any of these would look good on, like, the wall. Come on, can we place these guys on the wall? We cannot, so they are floor only. Okay. What about you? Okay, so the macaws... What is this? The macaws... Yeah. Classic lanterns can go on the outside. I can't wait until I get the update where I can just click and drag. Oh, the click and drag for transferring items would make things so much easier. Alright, so we had the stone pillar. That and that. And... what's the name? What's the name of it? No. You. I also keep forgetting that where my regular crouch key would usually be, like, with like, Minecraft or something like that, would be the fly down key. With this one, it is a completely different key for the fly down, and that throws me off just a touch. We actually had... that... No, actually... It was... like that, and then like that. Yeah, that's kind of how we did it. How I did it on the save over there. The only difference is instead of the quartzite bricks right here, I had stone bricks right here and stone as the flooring. But that is not to be worried about right now. Pull these out of there. 3 and 4. So I know I kind of want to actually revamp it a little bit and make this feel like right here as a grand hallway. So I don't plan on having a support pillar in the middle. Just having it be a support on the sides. So it would kind of imply, like, structurally, like, having the roof be your main support, since it is going to be a triangular style roof. Four. It's that. And let's get this kind of built. Now I just gotta kind of layer these down here. And then the roof we can start planning for right here. Trying to think of how I want to do this. So now these sections are gonna have to be blocked off like that. We're keeping the middle section open because we want that like a Great Hall type style. So we can put like a couple knights or something like that in the hallway. Since I know we can get more of those knight statues, we just have to like hunt other ones of them down. And the faster way to get the knight statues, if you do come across them, is just break the block below them. They'll just pop into their item form, making it easier for the player to pick up. Right. So now we can scan through all the roof variations available to us. Dark wood actually looks really nice, but we're actually using the hardwood. Green wood. That one looks kind of neat. You got the redwood with the nice red roof. But we're going to do this. Make sure we have at least a bit of each of them. Root wand. Interesting. Maybe I might want to try it out, seeing how well it works. Possibly. Take that there. Make sure we pull one of each of these. Now we just need hardwood planks, hardwood slabs. Alright, so how do I want to do this over here? Okay, so technically have them out like that. Then I can have them go all the way across to that section where it kind of buds into right here. since we'll still have this section blocked, I still want to have a dual sectioned roof. Is kind of how I want to do this. So there's going to be separate areas for our roof and how it's done. I just got to figure out how I want to play with it in a way where it is set up where we can have things flowing one section to the other for how the roof is. So there's that. Wrong button again. There we go. Alright, and since we're going to be having that right there, kind of have it lead to something like that. Yeah, because then I could probably alter the other one better than I can this one, I think. So then I want to go slightly steeper with the roof right here. Yep, so it's starting to slope upwards. Then we would place these along here. Just so we can, so when we're building it in the survival-esque world, we kind of have an idea of placement and easier understanding of how that's going to go. And then I want to do the steep roof. Yeah, even though the steep roof is taking up only one block, it's going to get us a idea of where it's going to be placing this. It's also going to give us a very clear idea of how big our structure is going to look. So maybe later today I might, on just like a Minecraft playthrough, figure a way of setting up a very similar style and seeing how, if I can get a similar roof look and figure out how I want to do it there. Since there are some mods with Minecraft that have the same type of block palette as this, just maybe not in its entirety. Okay, so that actually looks kind of nice through. Instead of having be a sharp peak, having be kind of a mound peak, and keeping the slope like that. I'll just have to figure out how I want to do this over here then. Since, unfortunately, the flat parts of the roof, they don't exactly have a corner bit. Like, I wish that these guys had a way of making a corner one, but there currently isn't. And there isn't another, like, a transitioning piece that is two separate pieces. Though I do feel that that should be an option for people to have it be an option of having that transition where you can have a cornered, a shallow roof. Because that would solve our issue right here. It'd probably take up 4 blocks in space, but having like a cornered shallow piece would just make so much more sense. Because I do know that these guys have corner bits. And the corner bits for these guys work really well. What if we cut out these guys and did... Just did these right here instead. I think that'd actually be a good idea. Having these right here. Because then they will connect in like that. And then we can do the... another set of the angled... of the shallow... or... not shallow. The simple triangular bit roofs like these guys. And then we would do the steeper ones on top of that. I keep hitting like the FTP Ultimine key that I use for modded Minecraft. But I realized that doesn't exactly do anything here. And it throws me off. It's like, ah, I'm gonna hit this key and just quickly get all these up. Wait, wrong game. That key is not, that type of thing's not available in this game. I mean, they're technically vein miners, but I've not tested those ones out yet. Mainly because I personally feel that unless Hytale had a larger use for like a multi-block mining thing, aside from the very niche things like what I was just doing just now, I don't think it would be a fitting tool to have in the game. At least in its current state. Now, maybe in the future when other ores and stuff like that become more prevalent for the players to use, yes, at that point, probably. Because at that point, it would be a understandable tool for players to use. Alright, so... Now I've got to kind of rethink how I want to have this roof done. And figure out how I want to have it lead into over here. Because how I have it over here will determine several other bits. Four. Nope, that doesn't belong there. There we go. Ta-da! Alright, and oh, wrong button. Yes, just gonna start breaking all the blocks instead of placing them. That's exactly what we were trying to do, right? We aren't meaning to build. Alright, that's that part there. Now we're going to use these to kind of get an idea of layout here. So if we went with just having the this roof type area all across right here, and then use the flat roof tiles as the top there, it might actually be easier because then we could probably blend it in with the side of this in a way where it doesn't feel out of place. Not the mining hammer. Builder's hammer. Why are you... Okay, fine. I thought these did have... Oh, they do. I just need basically a block right there. Oh. Scratch what I was about to say, what I was doing. I was not thinking. I was having a human moment, as I like to call them. Because I realized that that it wasn't just it wasn't. I'm totally making complete sense right now, aren't I? It's not like I've been awake since 10 p.m. yesterday. Oh wait, I have been. And I want to do... Break that. Do that. And kind of fill in right here to give us more of an idea of where we're sitting. I like that it kind of blends into the other one, but there's probably some like Z-axis arguing there. About tempted to do what I would do with like regular like just Minecraft houses and get rid of the steep roof pieces. Because when I've done some Minecraft mod packs, I just won't have those type things. And I'll be using primarily only like these two right here. None of these ones. Yeah, let's see if we can get something that would look good with just the regular angled ones. And maybe figuring out later on about implementing some of the more flat angled pieces. Oh. Now. That's that. And if we just all the way across this, we can now slowly pillar up all the, or not pillar, but layer out all the other roof segments. Now for this one, there has to be a way of making it to where we can have the flat angled roofs blend in together. I'm probably not doing something right. Knowing me, there's probably something I'm doing that is not flowing the way it's supposed to for this. There. That. That's there. Let's get this all laid out there. That's that. I'm just gonna put this place down like such to get the rest of it done here. Just the lovely monotonous path of let the blocks be placed. All of you probably just watch me get this kind of figured out and have frustrating headaches over a simple thing that shouldn't be that hard to do. But my sleep-deprived brain is apparently having more issues with than I would like to admit. It's that. There's that. And I could probably then do like that steep roof part there to get us the height that I want. I think so. I think there is, if I seen correctly from like some of the pages I've seen that cover some of the tweets and Blue Sky notes, whatever they're called. They're not really tweets, but Blue Sky isn't really. I'll figure what I don't know what they're properly called. What the heck Blue Sky calls their posts about the updates? It seems like roofs are a planned, like there's some planned, like other options for roof options coming in. Not right this second, mainly because they're working on developing. So maybe the idea of having the larger sloped angle roof pieces coming into play, that might be something down the line, hopefully. I think it'd be pretty damn good. But I'm just a, simple little streamer who not very big yet. And probably won't ever really become big, but I can at least dream, right? I can at least dream about becoming a big named streamer who does a lot of cool things. So that's like the rough, like very, very, very rough shape of how I want the roof to be. We'd have these blocks right here. Like such. That. Like that. Damn it. There we go. I have those moments where I'm just like placing the blocks and I just have that hiccup or that fuck up and I'm just like, really? Really? There's that. Really? Really? Come on. There we go. You piece of shit. There we go. This is kind of where I was wanting to have something like this be laid out. we run into the issue of this corner right here. Where it literally is just a spot where we can't place them this way, can't place them that way. We're literally... It's a no man's land spot, pretty much. Where we don't really have something we can do. We don't really have something we can't do either. Without it looking really weird. Come on, place them blocks like they're supposed to be. See, it does look significantly better, I think. And we would just layer all these down, if I can layer them down correctly. All right. Come on. It's when it like somehow like stops placing that it seems to really throw off the the groove of the speed placing there. So when like pauses for whatever fucking reason it wants to, that really fudges up things. Alright, so... maybe just literally leaving them and then like layering up like that. And then using these, just kind of flatten it out, maybe? I mean, it looks weird. But again, it's something I'm building, so it kind of comes with the territory of, you know, being weird. Simple window, wind temple window. Now, let's see what each of these ones look like. I don't think we can build the Lost Civilization windows. We probably can. Take one of those. Tavern window. Now, which one would look better right up here? Maybe not that one. That one looks okay. Probably we should do this, though. And then have this up here on these upper corners for this one. That would look kind of nice there. Because when we use the Quebec windows like that. All right. So that get that covered there. I need. Let me do rotate. Let me just kind of wait until the highlight block comes across. Place these along there. That's a stairwell area right here. So this is kind of like that. So I'm thinking roof pieces like such. Okay, so that gets that. All right. Next we need is the greenhouse. What do I want to do with the greenhouse roof? I'm trying to think how I want to do this, but it's a little bit wonky. I've also been streaming for a little over 2 hours now. So the greenhouse hardwood. Where's the... Oh, as everything pops and creaks as I move. Okay, so the GMG window. All roof window. Flat roof window. Okay. So, kind of want this. Like such. Now, if we layer these down, kind of like how we would the other pieces. kind of wish we can like rotate it where the pattern is on top. Unless... Nope. Ah, that kind of annoys... Like, I wish we could. Like, that would be so cool if we could just, like, rotate this, the decorative pattern, where instead of it being on the lower edge of the block, it was transitioned to the upper edge of the block. That would be, in my opinion, so much better. Alright, so there's that. Alright, so there's that. We're going to use these as some temporary blocks. So this tells me that we're going to have to use temporary blocks when doing this too. There's that. 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 Alright, so... Now we place these on like that. Okay, now we place these according to this. And... I want to do a tall roof there. Then... that roof on top of it. I mean, it would look... well, maybe not. So I gotta take in consideration... First off, do I want it to be extra tall, or do I want to keep it for this little greenhouse-esque area a relatively small area? Oh. There's that. So, why don't I have, like, corner? Is there even the type of corner I'm thinking of? Right inverted, left inverted. What do you look like? Okay. There's that. Boom. Alright, so there's that. We do this. It's that. Break that now. Since this guy's on the exterior of it. Don't have to worry too much about that. I think we can use these guys right here. Yeah, that would actually really work out there. And then the flat roofs. On tech. There we go. Come on. There we go. Alright, so there's all of those. Cleaning up that area. There. Which kind of stone do we want to use for this? Trying to figure out which one, and there is plenty of them, thankfully. I swear there was other types of stone. But that's the ones we're gonna work with, I guess. There's that. Just want to destroy all this. Get them all but so we can replace this with a better flooring sooner rather than later. They all use the softwood planks. I mean, they do look nice. There's that. So we just gotta keep breaking this out here. Just gonna hammer. Make it go a lot faster there. Alright, so we've gotten the greenhouse floor figured out. So we just gotta kind of get things situated here. Right. Getting this base layered out like that. It gives us kind of a whereas the quartzite looks almost like a temple-esque stone, which I like, but I also don't like. If I was going for that style of a build, I would stick with it. But we're not. To be honest, I don't exactly know what my exact style is. I'm just kind of going with the flow and seeing what comes up and how it sticks together, if it does stick together at all. Because if it does, cool. If it doesn't, then back to the grindstone on us figuring out exactly what we're trying to do or how we're trying to do it so that we can get all this looking at least acceptably presentable. Maybe not perfect. Like, there ain't no way that it's going to be perfect. But I could probably make a way of it looking better than what I currently have it. Possibly. Alright, so... it's that. Boom. Boom. Those go there. All right. Now. What's that? Alright. Now we just need to go through and finish this off. There we go. Think is. Hmm. Alright, can we make these look any different? Huh. They don't exactly look good when you have them outside these planks for planks. Blah, blah, blah. I just realized it is like 16:12. I've been up since like 2200 yesterday. My brain is like literally trying to function, but at the same time, it's like it's there. It, it's participation trophy level attentiveness, but not exactly like good human, or like even like some people consider good boyfriend level attentiveness brain power right now. It's that I'm here but not attentiveness, which really doesn't make this any more functional. Uh we just gotta continue letting all this stuff fill in here. And I really want to figure out what to do with on setting up the other parts of the house. And get, even if it's just an empty house, it's set up where I could try and create like a prefab of it where then players can then... I would need this. Ay, ay, ay. I'm gonna have to like remodel part of it, aren't I? And get it to where people without the greenhouse mod can have it as a save. But I have to figure out how would I want to do that. I think lightwood planks in the greenhouse area would actually look really, really, really nice. See, it brings through some more vibrant colors here. So if we remove those, since I want to figure out how to make this a downloadable thing for everyone. So even people without all the weird mods that I have in can be able to pretty much use the prefab importer tool thing that I think other people are starting to use now. The prefab importer tool. There we go with that. And we just apply down to here. There we go. So let's there's that. Alright, so there's that. Alright, so let's take a look at the doors. Simple wooden door. Not the overgrown temple door. Alright, so there's that. Alright, here to place the other door. Alright, so... I don't want to place any specific things in the structure, because I don't want to actually end up making it to where people feel like they have to have things be in the same way I lay these things out in. Like, the only thing I feel that should stay is the lanterns, because they will at least give some illumination to the world around them. There's that. That. This one should probably stay a wall, I think. Yeah, this area is gonna stay a wall. Because if we have it any other way, it's gonna look too weird. Alright, there's that. And these get placed behind these right here. And criminy. That's what I'm needing done there. It's that. I just gotta figure a there. It's okay. I'm just. I'm here, kind of mentally. I'm just. Ugh. My brain's trying to mushify itself, apparently, right now. But I've also been awake since yesterday, so that's to be expected with the human brain and being functioning longer than it normally does. Right? Up. There we go. And so that. Getting that filled in there. Alright. I gotta fill in the walls. This second level. I know. I was at work last night, so my brain just it's attempting. It is attempting to function. So, but that being said, it's at least making a semi effort to do so. I think so. I mean, maybe your work has some important phone calls they need to do for you. Possibly. Okay. Alright, then you layer this one down there like that. And that. And that. Alright, so keeping this area up here like that. Placing some lights a little bit lower. Oh, cool. So it doesn't make it look too dastardly dark in there. I mean, it still technically looks dark in there, but not as bad, possibly. Okay. Again, my brain's just it done be mush right now. You know, I'm hoping that the game doesn't have like rats or something that spawn in dark areas like that. Because I basically just created a little dark room up above there. Probably, though. I probably did. Maybe. I don't know. That's that. Alright, so... there's all this. I think what I need to do after I got the roof placed around here. Okay. Let's place regular planks there. And then decorative ones. Regular ones. windows now. Alright. I don't want to use the modded ones because we are trying to make it where if I do provide this as a as a downloadable thingy. I will remember what I'm thinking in a second. It'll take me a minute. My brain's just super duper slow apparently right now. Oh, I don't want a crude window, not the ancient window. The lumberjack one looks okay. But what do we want to do, right? I don't want to use... I can't use the no cubes one. Especially if I make it where other people can actually, Okay, so that's the regular tavern window there. Alright, place all these down. Where it would look like we have it kind of figured out. And let me just fill in this section up here with all of these. And then I really have to figure out later on how to make this a downloadable template. Or then I can upload it to like CurseForge for a prefab thingy. The prefab file, like I've seen other people do. And that'll allow people to download this and do with it what they may. Either swapping the palette out for other blocks, or however they want to do it. People with more education than I have. Because I'm building just pretty much a big old fancy box for everyone to have a way of having this be. Dun, dun, dun. There's that. Couple more sets of windows. There we go there. Alright, so... Now I just add some decorativeness to the windows like so, where they don't feel completely flat against the side of the building. Where is it? Builder's hammer. Really? Alright, so let's layer all these. Hmm. Something like that would probably make that a little bit easier for areas like this, where I have multiple windows along a wall. Instead of doing the little window type setup I just did, having it be just one. That. Or I could do something like this. Nope. There's that. Ah. This. Boom. Boom. Maybe in the description of the video, I'll be like, or in the description of the build, I'll be like, I am not good at building window sills. Please pair, or please do however you like to replace with whichever you feel would be best, kind of thing. Right? Possibly. Alright, so and we want to go with light wood. What are our light wood options here? That's black. Eight. No. Trying to figure out what item I'm wanting for this. Like, I have a vague idea of what. Where is the item I'm thinking of? Not the modded section. I think I swear I've seen what I'm trying to find, but I can't find it at all. Soils, ores, plants. Fluids, portals, decor. I think that's gonna be too big for what I need. We can check, but I do think this is gonna be. Oh, yeah, it'd be too big for what I need here. It is nice, but too large for what I need. Large crude wooden shelf. Temple shelf, dark temple shelf. Lumberjack shelf. Quebec. This underneath the right here. All these layered out. That. Check all the chats for the multi-stream we're doing right now. Looks good. It's that. Alright, so under light sources, ancient torch, Oregon temple torch. Why can't I rotate you? Do I have to boop you with the hammer thingy? so that probably has a way of rotating in actual normal gameplay. But I don't know how to do that right now. Alright, so... Now I need to go back here. And we need you. And you. Since we don't really need a gate for what we're about to be doing. Okay. Alright. Slide that down like that. Mm-hmm. And... boom. It's that. It's that. And then we can just fill in the rest with slabs like this. Alright, so now I take this. Like that. Alright, and like that. There we go. That now gives players a way of having an upstairs and the downstairs. I think I want to go with a different door. Yeah, simple wooden door would probably be the best for us, actually. Since it'd be something that the players can get within the first little bit of time. Move speed. Right. Yeah. Go. Now I just gotta figure out how to... Now I just gotta figure out how to select all of this for the selection tool to allow players to be able to download this thingy. I'll have to figure out how to do that now. But I think once players get this, they could probably turn it into other things and make it look nice. I don't even know what the hell to call this thing. 'Cause it's not really tavern, but it's not really not. I'll have to find out a name for it, but looks pretty okay. Yeah, we'll wrap it up here. I'll figure out how to get this structure as a downloadable for everyone. And then we'll go from there. So yeah, stay safe, everyone. I do hope that everyone has enjoyed today's stream. I think I did pretty good today, though there's probably several things I could have done better on. That is what it is, right? So stay safe, everyone. Stay hydrated,